Togashi has been unable to fault Benkei's knowledge, and in more subdued tones, he says it was his mistake to doubt, even for a moment, so exalted a group of priests. Now he, too, would like to make a small contribution to Todaiji's reconstruction. He orders his soldiers to bring it here. The singers describe gifts of figured white silk and other valuables set before the priests. Togashi humbly requests Benkei to accept his contribution to the reconstruction of Todaiji in the hopes that he, too, will receive the Buddha's blessings. Benkei is most grateful. Togashi need have no doubt that good fortune will be his both in this world and in the next. He and his group will now proceed to nearby provinces to solicit further contributions. They will take the 2 bags of gold with them now, but until they return in the middle of the 4th month, Benkei bids Togashi look after the other bulkier gifts for them. It is time to take their leave. They must continue their journey with all speed. As the lyrics tell of the relief felt by Benkei and his group and of their calm and composed departure, one of Togashi's soldiers points out the somehow familiar figure of the porter who lags behind. The porter must halt at once. So alarmed, Benkei gestures to the others not to act rashly. Why has his porter not passed through? Because he was ordered to stop. For what reason stopped? There was one who thought he resembled a certain person. That is why he was stopped. It is not unusual for someone to look like someone else. Whom is he supposed to resemble? One of his men thought he resembled Yoshitsune. Togashi needs to make sure. What's that? He resembles Yoshitsune? Benkei pretends to be furious at the porter. They had intended, he says, to travel as far as Noto province while the sun was still high, but this wretched porter, with only one piece of luggage, has lagged behind and delayed them. And now, to make matters worse, he is said to resemble Yoshitsune. To convince the soldiers that the porter is not, in fact, Yoshitsune, Benkei is forced to take drastic measures. He must beat him with his staff. But he will hesitate, for it is a grave sin to raise a hand against one's lord. He orders him to go. No matter how he tries to explain it, they may not pass. At last, Benkei accuses the soldiers of wanting to steal valuables from their bags, and the two groups confront each other. Benkei tries desperately to stop his own men from attacking, for that would reveal their true identities. The musicians sing of the strength and courage of the opponents as they grasp their swords in readiness to draw upon their enemy. Their fierce bravery, we hear, makes them seem like the demon kings of hell, their aspect frightening to behold. If Togashi has any further doubts, Benkei offers to strip the porter of his luggage, and to prove the truth of his words, right here and now he will beat him to death. He begs him to stop, but Togashi doubted his words. It was his soldiers. Then he will beat him to death to dispel their doubts. He must not act rashly. His soldiers were mistaken to doubt the porter. Secretly, though Togashi now realizes that this group is indeed Yoshitsune and his men, he is impressed by Benkei's outstanding loyalty and sympathizes with his plight. As he too lives by the same warrior's code, he understands how hard it was for Benkei to strike his lord. He claims to have no further doubts and invites them to pass the barrier. Togashi has been generous, and the porter lucky to escape with his life. He warns him to take care in the future. Togashi will also be more vigilant in his duties from now on. He orders his men to follow him away. Inwardly, Togashi is resolved. Out of respect for Benkei's heroic efforts, he has decided to let the group through, even though he knows he must pay for it later with his own life.